All right. So, thanks again for talking to me,
Sure
Davis.
thing.
So the first thing is, do you believe that there are intrinsic values and beliefs a person has or should have in order to declare themselves a member of a particular race?
Hmm. In some ways, culturally, I'm sure yes. Yes. Biologically, not so much.
All right. Would you like to expand on what some of those are?
Um, it's difficult to say. Expand. Possibly because, well, if you're going to identify, you should have some of the values of that race as well, important and aligned with your same values.
Okay.
But even if you're not a part of that race, you should still respect those values. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
And as a person of mixed race, how is that, if at all, influenced your development and understanding of intercultural communication?
Well, it's helped me take each person at their own speed, which means it doesn't matter what background they have. If they treat people well, then I usually respect them. If not, then I have misgivings. But it's taught me that we're not that different, honestly, race wise. We all have culture, which is what I believe is the best thing about being human. Truthfully, is we all have culture.
Okay. And yeah, speaking of culture, so like you were saying, like we have certain values, and it's just a matter of people should respect those values. So like, are there any particular values or cultural, yeah, are there any particular values that you follow or traditions that you follow and celebrate?
Hmm. Um, Difficult to say. Probably not. Not too
No?
many.
Okay.
I don't really believe in conformity at all. So I have never been
Okay.
that much of a traditions guy. But
Uh-huh.
there are, I mean, Christmas and Easter with my family, but that's about it. That's usually
Okay.
what we celebrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the reason why I asked that is because I personally haven't uh, done any real traditions other than the ones you've said,
Yeah.
but like I guess classic black traditions like Kwanzaa, I haven't done that, but I've had an interest, and so lately I've had
Yeah.
an interest,
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, I just thought.
Honestly, the only thing I can think of is the Juneteenth celebrations.
Oh, there you
Yeah, Juneteenth, Martin Luther King Day. We usually celebrate about that. Yeah.
go. Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay. Um, oh, so in what ways do you, so yeah, it kind of follows up from question two. In what ways do you communicate black culture in a public setting, and do you allow social and racial powers to influence those actions?
wow. Um, Honestly, I just try to keep every conversation light. I try to bring humor to everything. So I don't know if that's really something that could be contributed to race. Um, I don't know. I do try to bring pop culture references into the humor though, which might help contribute because it's come from black music, usually black actors, black comedians, stuff like that. Stuff they say or stuff I see them doing in their films. It's I usually try to emulate or try to do the same stuff, duplicate.
Okay. Okay. Um, and then, well, yeah. So, do you believe in the Black Lives Matter movement, and in what ways does it hold significance and power to you?
Absolutely, yeah. Black
Okay.
Lives Matter. It's not a big thing.
All right.
It holds significance to me because, truthfully, I have had a few run-ins with police where it seemed like I wasn't doing anything wrong, and they didn't really have a reason to stop, and nothing mounted to it from it, but it's not something that only happens to me too. It happens to a lot of people, and it's something that shouldn't happen, truthfully, because of the color of the skin that we have, or the stuff that we believe in, or just how we look. That's not anything that should be deemed suspicious. And I think that's what the Black Lives Matter movement is trying to put out into the world, alongside the fact that Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then to follow that one up, so what are your thoughts on? Because I don't know if you knew this, but one of the co-founders of the movement, she's not just black, she's also queer, and so in studies for another class, I found that her purpose of founding the BLM movement was to not just bring forward the concerns for black people, but the concerns and bring to light equality for the LGBTQ plus movement.
Okay.
And so, do you believe that BLM has kind of had an influence on bringing LGBTQ plus to the forefront, or?
Yeah, I think it's done a lot for that platform also, and that movement. I think honestly it's done a lot for any type of movement, because it's been such a dynamic kind of movement because of the way that we've acted.
Right.
The way that we've acted. So it's really been the standard of how to voice our opinion, of what we think and what should be the social norm, really. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yep. Yep. There's a lot we need to change, and there's various ways you can do it. Do so to make it happen.
Absolutely.
But that's actually all of my questions. And thank you. That was actually shorter than some of my other ones, which is good. But
Well, thank you for
I still
interviewing
think they were good, respectful answers, and and thanks again.
Thanks for having me on.